and welcome out here to Fred's Pass, or Norbuilt Oval, as they say in the modern language. Myself and fellow commentator Ian Butterworth are going to present the Southern District's PINT game. That's 1 versus 5 of the NTFL season. And welcome to you, Ian.
Thanks very much, Graham. It's terrific. I love being out here. It's a fantastic facility we've got. And the game today is crucial for both teams. Southern Districts, of course, sitting on top of the ladder, but only 2 games clear on top of the ladder. They went down a couple of weeks ago to Norbuilt, who were on a bit of a roll. But PINT is the other team, the new chums in the competition, pushing for a top 5 position. And what I'm looking forward to, before you give your summary, I'm looking forward today very much to the Brock Carter versus Matthew Dennis ruck competition, and I reckon that'll be a beauty, because together with the fella from Waratah, who I think is a very, very good ruckman. It's certainly
Kirby.
Kirby, that's right, Arnold Kirby, but certainly Brock Carter and Matthew Dennis, a standout ruckman. I'm looking forward to that very much.
Should be an interesting game, Butters, and of course I went and watched PINT beat the Buffaloes last week, and they've now moved to within half a game of the Buffaloes in the race for the top 5, so if they can win today and Nightcliff do as we would expect at Nightcliff over and beat the Buffaloes, then these guys are going to be in the 5. So it's a very important game for them. Also for Districts, as you said, because these guys are on top of the ladder. Only half a game clear, they were Waratahs.
They are. An interesting in for PINT is a young man by the name of Caden Melseed. Now, back in our day, Gray, when I was umpiring in anger and you were commentating and writing for the NT News in anger, Steve Melseed was playing for North Darwin, I believe.
Remember him well, Stephen. He was a half-forward, sort of on-ball top player.
Yeah, tough little bloke, wasn't he? Head down, backside up. Well, Caden Melseed is his son, on debut, apparently a pretty good basketball player, and just a medium-sized player, but I'll be interested in watching him, because we see some of the old names, and Melseed's one of those names. He would have played 100 games at least, I reckon, for North Darwin back in the day.
Would have, and I reckon he played in one of those premiership years too, in the early noughties.
Yeah.
01.
Anyway, we'll be watching him. As I said, I'll also be watching Brock Carter. His chop out is a fella by the name of Andrew Jones, who's also a 2 metre tall fella. So certainly it'll be Matthew Dennis, who doesn't want a bit of a rest. Matthew Dennis usually plays the whole game on the ground, so he doesn't need a chop out, and has just been a standout, I reckon, since he's moved across. It was always a standout when he was playing with Palmerston. He was a very good player, but certainly he's just carried Southern District's ruck all season.
Done a very good job, and of course Districts are without some key players today, Ian. I noticed that Jai Bolton, the dual Sandover medalist over there in the Waffle, is not playing. I think it's about his 2nd game in a row he's missed.
Yeah, we were impressed with him a couple of weeks ago, weren't we? He's just a fantastic player.
He's a real bull at the ball, and when he gets it, he does something with it. The other one out is their forward, whose name just escapes me, McQueen. Is not playing either. Jake McQueen?
Yeah, Jake McQueen's in.
He is in, is he?
Yes, he is. Yep.
So, but Jai Bolton is a devil. Oh, no, Jake McQueen. And Matt Massini, is he playing?
He's playing, yes, also.
So they've almost got their full side, Districts. Players to look out for with the Green Ants, the Green and Golds, of course, are, we watched this guy last week, Alex Harvey, number 20, a midfield type player. Got plenty of the football, and you'd expect that to happen again. And there's a few others, of course. You mentioned their ruckman, Brock Carter.
Yeah, Ethan Penrith is another one that's sort of they're a solid side, aren't they? They're a big-bodied side, PINT, and I reckon that that Shannon Motlop's done a terrific job to get them together.
He has. He's gelled them, hasn't he, really? But as you say, they have to win today because they've got to buy in the last round, of course.
Yes.
So
and 3 rounds to go, including this round 16. So 16, 17, 18. I reckon that's 3.
Yeah, three games to go and a buy in the last round. So they lose today, she's mothballs, and they can plan on next season, Butters.
And it's interesting, I've always been a little bit bemused by player numbers. There's a fellow by the name of Ethan Smith that plays with PINT. He wears number 77. He's worn it all season. I don't recall, in my time here in the NTFL, a player with a number as high as number 77 playing Premier grade football on a consistent basis.
And his nickname, Ian?
No idea.
Sunset Strip. After
77 Sunset Strip, of
that's
course.
what they call him at PINT, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the players getting together for the toss battles, and we'll see what happens at this beautiful arena out here at Norbuilt Oval.
It's in good nick, isn't it? A little bit heavy because we've had a lot of rain during the week, but certainly players will be able to skip across the ground. It looks like PINT will be kicking to the northern end as the big fellas get set.
Right, yeah, they're lumbering towards us, the big fella, and they are a big side too, Districts.
They are, aren't they? Yeah. But they're quick, and Districts handball is second to none in the competition, and that helps them. And I see that the two combatants in the middle, and in my view, they are Brock Carter, number 26, we'll see there for the Pointers, and number 21, Matthew Dennis. So they came together and shook hands, and I expect a pretty good game.
And the man turning his back, in fact, he's about to take up his opponent, is number 34, Charlie McAdam, son of the great Gilbert.
He is indeed. And Luke Smith, we've had a bit of a word about Luke Smith, and some opposition team officials are here as the umpire holds the ball aloft and reckon that Luke Smith is as good a player there is in the competition.
Well, there you go.
And up they go, and it might have been Carter, 1 and 2. PINT, the first one to get the clearance in the middle of the ground, kicks across his body, and a nice mark under a bit of pressure, taken PINT. PINT move quickly, go forward. Jet Trotter.
He's the guy that has to kick some goals, Butters, if they're going to win.
4 or 5 goals. Trotter.
Jet Trotter.
Goes slightly backward. PINT in the middle of the ground. Thomas Shot goes forward. Picks up the man Ethan Penrith. We spoke about him early. Can kick a goal. Penrith goes across the face of goal into the pocket. Leading player over the back. One of PINT's problems is that they haven't got a significant goal kicker. And that big man, Fraser Driscoll, clears the football for Districts, favouring the outer wing, the scoreboard wing. PINT have possession. Left half forward, right half forward. Go forward. Second possession. Elliot Chalmers. Too far out to score. Chalmers goes inside. Picks up the teammate, Trotter. Trotter's got a bit of it. Will swing onto the left foot. Goes toward the square, over the back. Ball taken out of bounds by the big man back there, Matthew Mazzini. Makes a difference. It's handy to have a tall running player in defence. Matthew Mazzini fills that bill beautifully for the Tricolours.
So I'm just looking at District record, but they've won 5 of the last 6, so they're definitely an informed side.
Oh, they certainly are. No mark played. Good call by the umpire. It was off the hands of the Pointer player in front. Running hard. Ducked into it, but was paid the high tackle, and rightly so, I reckon. Kicks forward. Running into the forward line.
Oh.
And the skipper has the football. Kicks on goal and kicks across the face of goal. But the first score on the board, and we're 2 minutes in, and that goes to Southern Districts, and it was Dean Staunton.
And that's the modern day game, Butter. They were deep in their back pocket, Districts, and then in a thrice they are down on the forward line. So one long kick and a couple of handballs. And
what do they say, Gray? Coast to coast. PINT to bring the ball back.
Coast.
Favouring the grandstand side. Here's the big man Carter. Takes the mark. Chips forward. Still backward of the wing. Long way to go. It's a big ground here, isn't it, at Norbuilt Oval?
Well, it's an oval, isn't it? It's a round. It's not an oval, sorry. It's more of a stadium, a round.
Yeah, they call it Norbuilt Oval, don't they? It's a bit like the size of Marara, I reckon. PINT chipping around. Penrith, another possession. It's 2 for him. He goes backwards, not quite sure what they're doing. Setting something up, Gray. They're favouring our side of the ground, which is on the outer. Mucked it up. They can't afford to muck it up if they're going to kick across the face of goal. The handball goes over the top. PINT in possession. They've had possession and they've mucked it up. Good. 2 on 1 and Southern District's defence on top. Out of bounds, said the boundary umpire. And good. It's a kick and a half out from the PINT goal.
Good spoil by your man Fraser Driscoll again there too, Butters. He's had his hand on the ball a few times already.
And he's had his hand on the in the bottle too, because I reckon he's got a blonde tinge to his hair. This is the boundary. The boundary umpire falls over. Fijo gets the ball out by hand. Good defence. Dragged off the football. Running after the football, Jack Mentha. Southern Districts, the wingman. Here's Luke Smith. Kicks it across the face of goal. No one can get a possession. The skipper's got it again. Staunton. Staunton goes forward. Looking for the big player down there, but another minor score. That time, Braden Taylor. No, not Braden Taylor. Dylan Barry.
Yes, the ball did a leg break rather than an off break, Butters, and went through for one behind.
So 2 behinds. Plays no score 4 minutes into the first term here at Norbuilt Oval. A big win for both teams. It's got to be a win for both teams. Brock Carter lurking. I won't go toward him. Work the ball out. Handball across the face of goal again. Pint mucking around with the football. Mitchell Lowe was good a couple of weeks ago. He holds the defence up very nicely. Handball away. And a couple of possessions this time to Jack Sexton. The Southern District's taken high. Surely taken high.
If you don't mind umpire, as Jack Dyer used to say. The late Jack Dyer.
Deep in defence. They're kicking across the face of goal. They just want possession, don't they? But they can't afford to muck it up. And over the back.
Guess who?
Yes. Matthew Dennis. So honours about even. There's our man again, and that time Dean Staunton's had a bit of the football early in the game. The skipper missed probably half a dozen games with a crook throat. Turned the ball over. Point have it. Grandstand wing.
Gee, there.
Onto the left foot, and there's Mazzini. Mazzini, his direct opponent, going to be hard. Driscoll gets it over the top by hand. Another flip out by McAdam. McAdam, the handball of Southern Districts is a sight to behold. Here comes the left foot of Bowden. Bowden will do something with the footy, and he does. He always does. Running hard with the football. That time was Ethan Maney. Maney kicks forward, and the defensive Pint up to the task.
Gee, the Pint forward line very thin, and there isn't many of them down there.
No.
You're going to have to go along to this fellow, number 20, and he dropped the mark. In fact, he got a free kick, I think.
Big chance this time.
That's Alex Harvey, the guy I was talking about pre-match.
Earlier, yes, Alex Harvey to kick on goal. Now, Harvey, he will be a right footer, but he's just left of centre, but nothing too much to speak of. And the man on the mark about 25 metres from goal. Distance, not an issue.
No, he should kick the first goal for the Green Ants.
Alex Harvey spins the ball. Sure, that's the best option. The right footer kicks on goal and does it nicely. There's the first goal on the board, and it's taken 6.5 minutes, but Alex Harvey and the Pointers are on the board.
Yes, it was a very thin forward line, as I said, coming in, but they're a bit fortunate on that occasion that Harvey was taken around the neck to get the free kick. They've got to get numbers to the ball. It's all right leading, but if you're going to drop the mark, you need someone to get the spills in on a big ground like this. But the good news for Pint is, as you say, they're on the board.
They are indeed. Back in the middle. The field umpire.
Yeah.
Tosses it up. Carter wins comfortably. Ball down in the middle, in possession. Flicked out by Mentha. Districts go forward. The Point defence up to it again. Oh, that big man there, and that was Willsmore, who's playing his first game. Dallasman Willsmore.
That's the ex-Hawthorn player?
It is indeed. Played in round one. One qualified. It's a strange move to play him. I don't think he'll qualify for the finals, Willsmore, but looks a good size. Just keep a bit of an eye on him. Number 25 for Southern Districts, the Tricolours. That's hard to get a possession here. Ball in dispute. Slightly in favour of Southern Districts on the wing. It's the scoreboard wing here at Norbuilt Oval.
And I'm just looking for Winter Irving. Is he playing for Pint?
No.
He's not.
No.
So he'll be a loss.
He will, but they've got a hyphen. They've got a Mead Harding, but no Winter Irving. And the ball goes out wide, and a nice strong mark there taken by Luke Delaney.
Yes, once again, that's the modern era, isn't it, the hyphen names?
It is. Delaney on the wing, on the left foot. Swings it forward. Goes to who in particular? Not quite sure. Looked as though he was looking for our man with the hyphen, Mead Hardy, who's a lump of a lad. They've got some big players, haven't they?
Yes, you've got a big,
the Pointers.
Big barrel chest, isn't he? That number 10.
Mead Harding, yep.
Certainly a big lump for a lad. If he hit you, I think it hurt you.
I'm sure he wouldn't do that. Matthew Dennis gets his left hand to the football. Pint get the clearance. Away they go. This time, Henry Tregowath into the Mead Harding way.
Here he is, Driscoll again.
Fraser Driscoll kicks it forward, straight down the corridor, flying over the back. Couldn't take the mark. The big man there in Sam Dunstan needs to kick a handful, Dunstan, for Southern Districts to really assert their authority. Dragged off the football, picked up, got it out nicely. District still in control, goes back, chip forward, and a steadying mark taken. Districts go wide. Not sure of the virtue of that. Fijo has the football, goes back to a good player in McQueen. McQueen's been pretty good too. He's had a bit of possession. Playing in front of Dunstan was good and picked up by Mentha. Snap on goal, and there's Districts first. 10 minutes in, Districts on the board. They are 1-3 leading Pint, 1 straight 6.
And that's the benefit of having someone at ground level. I was saying before for Pint, they're going for the one grab marks in the forward line, but Districts then played their smart football, man on the ground waiting for the crumbs. Thank you very much.
Jack Mentha.
So they're in front.
They are. They lead by 3 points and we're halfway through the first term.
Pint have been doing all the attacking, but one goal is, I think, all I've got.
Their reward?
Yes, they've been doing all the attacking, but they just can't get a system going. Having said that, District have got a very good back line. That guy, Fraser Driscoll, we talked about, has been very good.
And the tall man, Mazzini.
And the hyphen, that's Pint, isn't it, of course?
It is indeed. Here we go again. Oh, look, comfortably Districts get the ball down. Luke Smith, handballs to no one in particular. Tackles high. Play on called the umpire. Probably ducked into it. Good umpiring. Ball over the back. There's Driscoll once again. Gets it out by hand. The look away handball. Muck that one up. Pint have the advantage. Running at the right forward pocket. Bound the left hand. The left foot kick into the goal square. And the mark taken. No, not paid. Good umpiring once again. Bowden over the football. Dragged off the ball. Play on called the umpire. Ball deep in the Pint forward line. Out the back goes Bowden by hand. And tackling the Pint forward line. Ferocious in their defensive work. And they keep the ball in and it's a ball up. Left forward pocket, Pint in attack.
Yes, you can't knock Pint for their endeavour, but they just can't get anything going.
Matthew Dennis dominating rucks at the moment.
Spoke to their coach after last week's win over the Buffaloes, and he said the same thing. We just can't kick goals.
Yep. Ball will be tossed in by the boundary umpire, 10 metres around from the Pint goal, left full forward. Dennis over the back, gets it to a teammate. Ball on the ground, handball back. Fijo's been busy. He gets the ball out to another busy player in Jake McQueen. Again, Jack Sexton, he's had a bit of the football too.
You're right, and the handball of Districts is
it's
astronomical.
Yeah, it's sensational, isn't it? It's
quick and accurate.
Assets. Here's the big man, Dunstan. Dunstan onto the right foot, goes forward, but kicks it, just speared it into Braden Taylor, an opponent. Pint now have it, and they'll switch play. They'll go across the face of goal, scoreboard side here at Norbuilt Oval. 12 and a half coming up 13 minutes. Southern Districts 1-3, Pint 1 straight. We keep saying, but it is a must-win game. Districts will certainly play finals. They are 2 points ahead of Waratah on top of the ladder, and Pint 2 points out of the top 5.
There's certainly some uncertainty about Pint when they go 14, as we saw then. He tried to spot up a teammate, but kicked it out of bounds.
Tossed in by the boundary umpire on the wing. No one to advantage. Flipped out that time. Chalmers had a bit of the footy. Over the back. They'll go back by hand and back again.
Dangerous.
They heard the voice, and there's our man Driscoll. Driscoll off the side of the boot, in the middle, might be a fortune. Out they go wide this time to McQueen. McQueen and Driscoll skip one way, then the other. Mentha had plenty of time, Good free kick by the field umpire, and PINT will defend beautifully. PINT now on the attack. Drop mark. Should have taken that. Can't make a mistake if you're defending across the face of goal.
That's a nice looking kick. But no.
PINT. Running hard. They've turned the ball over. Kick on goal. Southern Districts in attack. Southern Districts player limping off Jack Mentha, who is their goal kicker. He is, looks like he's copped a corky.
Yes, we've been talking up the Southern Districts defence end, but PINT are doing very well too, of the amount of ball coming down in their direction. They've only had one goal kicked against them.
Certainly they have in nearly 15 minutes of the first quarter. No real breeze advantage. A little bit toward the area, the way that Districts are kicking to the southern end. A little bit of sea breezes set in. PINT working their way out of defence. Has got a left foot. Gee, that action's a long way from where we are. PINT, handball, defence again, kick to no one in particular. And Matthew Dennis dropped what he certainly should have taken. Brock Carter onto him like a rash. Districts one way, then the other. Kick inside forward 50 and a lovely kick in by the skipper, and the mark taken nicely. Kick on goal and slightly across the face of goal. Certainly Jake McQueen's had plenty of the football.
Oh, look a bit high. No.
As has Staunton. And field umpire Jared Collins says, not quite sure what he's saying. I'm not sure where his hands are doing what they're doing. He says, give it to me, gentlemen. And they do just that. So Districts well in attack. The tricolours. Right forward pocket. Closing in on 16 minutes. That time Carter in front had his fingers to the football, but no real advantage. And Collins says, give it to me again. That's the field umpire, Jared Collins. Similar place, right forward pocket. Southern Districts deep in attack. Carter gets the ball across defensively, out of bounds. And where was he aiming for there? He was certainly aiming for the boundary line, but they don't give it, do they?
Yeah, that's what do they call it now, minimal intent or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my day, it was deliberate.
They've got a phrase for it. Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Carter gets in front. His opponent there was Dunstan. Dunstan's got to kick half a dozen. We've said that. He's got to get at least a handful if Southern District are to be a real threat for the entire competition. PINT will handball their way out of defence. Again, slightly favouring the grandstand side, but a little bit of pace. Running across the face of goal. Picked up comfortably. The skipper, once again, Dean Staunton's had plenty of it.
He's been very good this quarter, the skipper.
And McLaughlin, his first touch. McLaughlin goes long, goes high. Dunstan got a couple to beat. Big body, gets the ball. He's got to go back by hand. He does it nicely. McLaughlin again from basically from where he had it, running into an open goal, onto the left foot. Southern Districts, and a mark taken at full forward. Well done that time, Southern Districts, and a lovely kick in by Dylan Barry.
And where did he kick it? Straight into the goal square, not in the forward pocket or the boundary line. Went straight for the front and square, and look what's happened.
So mark was taken.
It's a very simple game sometimes, Ian, Aussie rules.
Our man Luke Smith, who, as we said earlier, had a bit of a rap from some opposition hierarchy. I reckon Luke Smith can play. Can kick a goal. Directly in front. Distance, not an issue. Should not miss, and doesn't. He tried hard to miss.
Yes.
but he didn't. So Luke Smith's first, Southern Districts second. Districts move on now to 2-3-15, leading PINT 1 straight 6, 18 minutes into the first term.
And that's about the balance of the game, Ian. PINT have had their opportunities, but Districts look much more efficient in when they get the ball going forward.
PINT favouring the scoreboard side here at Norbuilt Oval.
Yes, the breeze seems to be hitting us in the face, and we're down the PINT end.
So. Yeah, so they've got a bit of a plan in action.
And notice I said pint, Ian. A lot of commentators call them pints.
But they aren't.
But I've been told it's Postal Institute NT. So
Postal Institute of the Northern Territory.
Yep.
Always has been and probably always will be.
So those commentators out there, it is pint.
It is the pint, and it's not the Wanderers or the Waratahs. It is Wanderers and Waratah. They are foundation clubs.
Thank you very much.
Of the competition. Anyway, this is the game, and this is Southern Districts, and they are playing pint. Pint. Go by hand. Big long kick in to the southern end. Can't take the mark. Ball on the ground. McAdam withdrew from the tackle. Penrith, that's his third possession. Gets the ball out to a teammate out there in Galbraith. It's not Galbraith. It is McMahon.
Here's a man on his own there for a change, but kick was indirect.
But the pace, absolute pace, and the ease with which he just disposed of his opponent, and that's Ronald Fijo, who we said's had plenty of the football, and did that and did it comfortably and did it with elegance. It was just fantastic. He's certainly, should I say, an improved player, a different player for Southern Districts than he was at Wanderers. Not an improved necessarily, but a different player.
There was talk of the AFL rookie draft earlier this year, Butters, but he didn't feature. Hopefully next year.
Yep, Chet Trotter goes by short.
No, too high again.
McAdam.
Son of the great Gilbert McAdam.
Yep, left half back, onto the left foot. Gets it out to Fijo. Fijo can't take the mark. Ball on the ground. Second effort by Fijo, not good enough. Good tackle. Excuse me. And Southern Districts will clear, and clear quite comfortably.
Gee, every time you see Fraser just get the ball, he does something with it. He's a very efficient player.
He's a terrific player, isn't he? Big, strong man.
But he's got great vision in.
Yep. Ball comes out this time, and the man who's also had a bit of it, Jack Sexton, goes forward and finds Dunstan. Let's see how good Dunstan is this time. He's within distance, and that's about 40, nearly 50 metres out from goal, just slightly right of centre, but won't worry the right footer.
He'd be on 50 here. He might even try the torpedo. Well, it looked like he's lining up a drop punt.
On his distance, you reckon Gray's a big man, isn't he?
Be right on 50, I reckon, though, Ian. It'd be a fair thump. Or as we used to say when we were young fellows, stow. Good stow from there.
Dunstan moves in, kicks, came off the boot nicely, and across the face of goal. Misses to the left-hand side. District's wasteful. They go on to 2-4. Point, one straight.
Yes, 6 shots to 1 already, Butters. So certainly Point are going to have to get some system into their forward line. We say that every week about them. Because apart from that, they're doing things fairly well. Their back line's fairly organised, so their midfield, but they can't put the ball between the big six down the other end.
Bit predictable. They want to go to the scoreboard side here at Norbuilt Oval. Big mark taken. Deep in defence.
And just while you're catching your breath, Ian, don't forget you're watching AFL NT's coverage of the 22-23 NTFL season. And we're live out here at Norbuilt Oval to watch the Southern Districts Point blockbuster.
Certainly proving that way. Point inside by hand, running into an open goal, looking for the player, moving forward, can't find the handle. Now he does the hand, kicks the goal.
At last they've found a way.
Thomas Burnett has kicked the goal for the Pointers. Well, probably warranted. They deserved that, I reckon. They've had plenty of the footy.
Well, they've had enough of it. They haven't been able to find a way, but that time they went over the back. And Burnett was on his own. He finally picked up the bouncing football and kicked it through. So a bit of a sigh of relief there from the Point coaching box too, I would say, Ian.
Some reward for persistence and performance.
I'm just looking at their coach, Shannon Motlop. He's leaning on the fence with that quizzical look that coaches get from time to time.
Can't do much about it now. He's done his work until quarter time. He can have some words of wisdom.
So what's that make it? 3 points of difference? 4 points of difference?
4 points of difference, yeah. 2-4 to 2 straight. And we're well into time on in the first term. One wouldn't expect too much more time. 23, coming up 23 and a half minutes. Field umpire Jared Collins, Matthew Dennis, Brock Carter. Carter, give that to him. Ball down, Pint in attack again. Pint could lead it at quarter time, running into the forward line. Southern Districts, Ben Galbraith, terrific, but handed the ball over. Point to the top of the square. Up they go for the mark, and a big mark, big strong mark taken that time, and it is Jet Trotter.
Gee, this will be a very important goal in the context of the game. I mean, just in the shadows of quarter time. Hadn't kicked a goal yet as Jeff Trotter, but hopefully for Green Ants fans, this will be his first.
He's a Jet.
And it'll put them in front.
Jet Trotter, the man you mentioned.
That's right, it's Jet, not Jeff.
Trotter,
Left footer.
onto the left foot. Kicks on goal and misses to the near side. Michael Bowden, another left footer. Left footers everywhere, Gray.
Molly Duke is where to call the man.
Yep. Bowden kicks short to a leading player. Gets Fijo. Fijo goes short again. Picks up a teammate out there in Stevens. Kane Stevens. Hasn't played much for Districts. Goes forward. Dunstan can't take the mark. Ball falls free. Picked up by McLaughlin. Had some good possession. 3 possessions. McLaughlin kicks in and kicks with precision. And the mark taken by that man once again. It might be Luke Smith. No, it's not Luke Smith. It is this time. It is Dylan Barry.
Yes, for those supporters out there watching this coverage, the other end of the ground, Ian, is about 100 mile away, so we really have to squint.
Dylan Barry.
Big ground out here.
Goes onto the left foot and kicks truly.
It's a huge ground out here, isn't it? Out here at Fred's Pass.
It is, and so Southern Districts move on to 3-4-22. Pint 2-1-13. 25 and a half minutes into the first term.
Yes, a well-worked goal there by the Crocodiles. They needed it to get some type of organisation in the shadows of quarter time. In fact, I reckon the timekeeper's finger will be on the button.
So Matthew Dennis and Brock Carter, probably Matthew Dennis, slightly in favour in terms of the tap. Not much, neither have done much around the ground.
No, it's like that. They're genuine tap ruckman, aren't they? They're not around the ground.
I reckon we've had the siren and we didn't hear it, Gray.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. It would have had the finger on the button when he kicked that goal. So they're 9 points in front, Districts, and it's quarter time out here at Fred's Pass.
And we'll be back shortly.
group captain, doesn't he?
He does. Dunstan. Very deliberate. We have a skip here. There he goes. There's the skip. Now strides, kicks, distance, not an issue. Accuracy looks okay. Dunstan and the Tricolours, Southern Districts on the board. Districts, the perfect start to the second term.
Yes, and that's what good forwards do. They kick those important goals, and that never looked like missing. It was a beautiful kick. From about 45 metres out too, and on a pretty sharp angle.
A good distance out. Certainly left of centre did suit the right footer.
So they've skipped away a bit now, haven't they?
So 4, 5,
16
29,
points.
16 points. Yeah, 29 plays 13.
A couple of the PINT blokes, players I see with hands on hips, Ian, which is
big Jones there, number 27 we see, who's giving a chop out to their main ruckman, Brock Carter.
bad sign when you see hands on hips at this stage of the game.
Just see if you can pick up Brock Carter, mate, whether they've got him resting in the forward line or whether he's on the bench, if you could.
Yes, I will. I'll get my trusted...
that makes it easy this time for Matthew Dennis. Wins the tap against Jones comfortably, because Carter's not there to put some pressure on him. Brock Carter, of course, one of the representative ruckmen for the territory. Districts immediately in attack. Jones and Dennis. Jones probably won that, but got a whack in the eye for his trouble. Accidental whack in the eye. Play on called the umpire. Not 15 metres. They go back by hand. Back again. Mitchell Lowe across the face of goal. Picks out a teammate. Can he? He almost can. Taken high. Fijo. Kicked off the ground. Working hard. Bowden comes in. Tries to lay the bump, but to no great effect. And ball out of bounds on the wing in front of the grandstand. So have you picked up Brock Carter?
I can't see too much action on the bench here, Ian, whether he's ducked in for a cold shower.
He's not in the forward line.
No. It's an unusual one.
It's just interesting because we made so much in Dennis and Carter, two of the best ruckmen in the competition. Yeah, this time it's Thomas Schott, who will be no match for Matthew Dennis, but Schott gets the football, goes onto the left foot, into the forward line, over the back, Driscoll. Unbeaten this time. Running with the football. Silver gets it inside by hand. Tregowath turns one way, then the other. Taken high. Play on called the umpire. Got set on his backside in a hurry that time. Jack Sexton, who's been a revelation down there for Southern Districts. And the ball will be held up.
Yes, he must have ducked into the showers, Brock, for a cold shower to try and beat the heat, as they say.
Sure, there he is now. He's back on the ground.
He's on the ground.
He's back on the ground now.
That's why I can't find him on the bench.
That's right, Carter in the ruck, and Carter actually won that, so the rest might have done him good because he beat Matthew Dennis, which is no mean feat. PINT get the football. They go forward. The big hand of Mazzini comes from behind, knocks the ball clear defensively for the Crocs. And the ball is out of bounds, a kick and a half away from the PINT goal at right half forward.
So it's District's in control, Ian. They've got a very good back line and they're still using that handball to maximum effect. That's one thing that Shannon Rusker, the coach, has introduced this season.
Oh, my word, and in spades. It's been a noticeable feature of the Crocodile game.
Where's the football? A bit of a hold-up here, is it?
Yeah, we've had time on, we've had time off, and the field umpire, if he puts his hand up and waves his arm once more, he'll take off, he'll float.
That's our favourite umpire too, isn't it?
I'm not sure. They're all our favourites, aren't they?
Well, that's right. We all love the men in green.
We used to be white maggots.
Yes.
But now I don't know, quite sure. There's a couple of field umpires out there, both waving their arms, and the kick in by PINT, and a mark not taken, kicked off the ground. Defence of Southern Districts working overtime. Galbraith over the top. They might have mucked this one up a little bit.
That handball went astray, yeah.
Yeah, it did. Mitchell Lowe, normally we see him playing the custodian role, but a lovely defensive mark taken by Southern Districts, and he's got a couple of options. And one option is Matthew Dennis. He goes by hand nicely. Try to turn on the pace. Does. Runs his full measure and probably some, but kicks it forward to no one in particular. Try to push him off the football. PINT defence now. They've got him, and Big Sam Dunstan wraps him up. And that was Patrick Doyle He couldn't get out of the bear hug that time.
Gee, looking at Sam Dunson, I mentioned he was a World War II colonel, and he looked like one.
Has he got the moustache?
Yeah, he's got the upright stance as well. Number 19.
Ball tossed in by the boundary umpire.
Bit high, perhaps.
Yes, it was. Bousted. The tackler. And gives away the free kick. And to take the kick, Andrew Civarella. We haven't seen much of him. Goes short, across the face of goal.
You'd think they'd need the next goal point. Ian.
Mark taken,
District is
Pendle.
starting to take control of the game.
Yeah. Definitely playing across the face of goal. Pendle goes probably slightly backwards. Picks up a teammate out there, Tregow. He's been busy. Right half back. Tregow goes forward. Nice mark taken. No pressure. Again, they go across the face of goal. The man with the big number, Ethan Smith. Point goes forward.
Strip.
And Mitchell Lowe, what's he doing? What's he doing? He goes forward. But the defence of Southern Districts has been terrific. And that man, we keep saying, Dallas Willsmore, a lump of a lad, but won't play finals because he won't qualify. This is only his second game.
The district defence is, they do all the good things, but they do the small things too. Like the punch-aways and
the good sides do the small things better than the others. Ball on the ground, in dispute. McQueen.
Bit dangerous kicking the ball inboard like that, and I've lost it.
The Point haven't been able to take advantage of the rare mistakes. McAdam over the footy. Did he dive on the footy? No, he didn't. He knocked it out. Well done to him. Charlie McAdam. This time, across the face of goal. He's got a couple of options. A bit of the footy, the skipper early in the game, Dean Staunton. Dived on the ball. Lovely handball out to the team's advantage. Mitchell Lowe. Lowe once again. Ball out of bounds. Point in attack.
5 districts players opposed to 2 Point players, Ian. The old saying, numbers around the ball always win.
They do. A kick and a half away from the Southern District's goal. That boundary umpire suffering a little bit. He's got his socks down. Don't often see a boundary umpire with their socks down. And who's looking? But I am.
He does look a bit weary, doesn't he?
He does indeed. Southern Districts once again. Oh, and that man, he's got the ball on a string, Jake McQueen. Goes forward, and 1 grab, 2 grabs, 3 grabs, takes the mark. Well done.
Number 22.
Damien McMahon, it is. McMahon runs his full measure. Gets the ball wide. Goes by hand. Back to McMahon. McMahon now kicks under pressure and...
Beautiful pass.
Yeah, finds a teammate forward.
Number 22, of course, that's Rick Nolan's dad's old number at North Melbourne.
The galloping gasometer. Yeah.
Yep.
The Point women's coach. Ooh, looked like a high tackle in there by our man Driscoll.
And of course, Rick himself being a mad North Melbourne man, let's hope they have a good 2023 season, eh?
North Melbourne? Nah.
The mighty Kangaroos.
Doesn't matter.
Not as good as your Demons, of course.
Well, Geelong. I'm a Geelong supporter at the moment,
that's right. You are.
Yeah. Ball to be tossed in. We've got Brock Carter and we've got Matthew Dennis. Number 26, Carter on the right-hand side. Matthew Dennis pushed out of it by Carter. Carter wins comfortably. Ball down on the ground. Carter's goal. No. Across the face of goal and out of bounds at left full forward. The Pointers, they're matching them in most areas except they can't find an avenue to goal, Gray. Your team, Point.
Yes, the old green ants. But they aren't making a nuisance of themselves as green ants are supposed to do, Ian.
They're not getting in the ears.
Or in between the toes, something like that. No, you're right. They just can't kick goals. Try as they might.
And they do try. You can't deny that. They're a big-bodied side. And Shannon Motlop, as we said earlier, has done a terrific job to make this team or to get this team to gel. But just in the clinches, they can't find the avenue. Ball to be tossed in by the boundary umpire. Carter against Dennis. Dennis in front, knocks it to his team's advantage. In front, running hard after the football, McQueen. McQueen gets it out by hand and does it nicely. This time maybe Point in defence. No, 2-on-1. Ball on the ground. Second effort there by Ethan Maney, who doesn't get many. He's not a big possession winner, Maney, but when he gets it, he always does something with it.
Gee, the game has turned into a bit of a Bit of a struggle, Ian. There's not a lot of scoring going on.
No, it is a slog. Tossed in Dennis over the back. Dennis now starting to assert some authority in the ruck. Not necessarily around the ground, but his job is the ruck, to get his hand to the ball and to pass it down to an opponent. Kick and a half out from the Southern District's goal at right half forward. Between wing and half forward. Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Dennis probably got a fingernail. McLaughlin somehow gets the football out. Districts.
Nice mark. Sunset Strip's got it again, Ian.
He has indeed. 77. Across the face of goal. Dangerous. Thomas Gaydon hasn't had much of it. Gaydon looks out there for his teammate in Thomas Shot. But they mucked it up. Districts find the handle. They can. Barry. Nose over the footy. Only got a couple to beat. Probably held up. Back again, and our man Willsmore.
Yes, the former Hawthorn player, but his kick went nowhere.
It did indeed, or didn't indeed. Brock Carter tumbles one forward. The pace of Districts just a little bit too much for Pint, although Pint now running away with the football. Kick on goal, right half forward. McAdam in front, using all his advantage and attracted the free kick, and the advantage is paid. Well done to Charlie McAdam, and Districts get the ball out to the man who I see, Jake McQueen, best man on the ground so far. Southern Districts playing in defence. I think in defence. Maybe he's got a roving commission, Gray. If you could check that out for me, please.
Yeah, okay, he's a very skillful player too. So
he is, Driscoll.
I'd say it's more on ball end than anything.
Driscoll goes forward. A measured kick. Grandstand side. Another measured kick. Lovely. Too far out to score. Way too far out to score. He's trying to hold play up. We'll go back. That's Luke Smith. Goes back to Driscoll. Not quite sure. He'll probably go back to Smith. Does. Districts have the footy. It's not Smith. Kicks it long. Kicks it high. Kicks it out of bounds.
And just on Jake McQueen, he isn't on ball, and he was on Essendon's list at one stage, so he can obviously play the game, eh?
Oh, well, you would think so.
Although he did wear the black and red of Essendon, which probably isn't saying a lot, is it? No, that's no ill effects against the mighty Bombers.
Mitchell Lowe, quiet achiever, and a mark taken. Well, no mark paid. Fraser Driscoll, he was probably paid the mark. No, he wasn't. The ball will be out of bounds. Driscoll quickly gets the ball on by hand. Oh, he must have been paid the free kick. Not quite sure why that wasn't taken. The man who started off well, Staunton, the skipper.
Yes, those McQueen, Driscoll and Staunton have all been very good for the Crocodiles.
They have. They seem to have the ball on a string, and they seem to have this game under control, yet Pint are just hanging in there, just doing enough. Barry.
Aren't really putting it on the scoreboard, though, are they? Districts. No. You're right, Pint are like those ants, those green ants, they're hanging on.
They're persistent, yep. Dylan Barry.
They're clinging on.
Right, left full forward. Southern Districts in attack. We see number 17 there. The man we've been talking about, Jake McQueen. Tossed in by the boundary umpire.
Pushed out, Dunstan, I thought.
Yes.
Yeah, the umpire said they thought the same thing. Gee, I might take up umpiring, eh?
A little bit late in proceedings.
Everyone loves umpires.
They do indeed. They do indeed.
And
so
who's
it is.
Going to have a shot then? The big fellow.
Yeah, Sam Dunstan. Oh, geez, on his distance. Oh, he's too far out to score, Gray.
Might call him the Colonel. About the same distance he got the last goal from. I reckon, 45. Colonel Dunstan.
And to the left of centre, so once again it opens it up slightly for the right footer. And Sunset Strips, number 77, Ethan Smith on the mark.
He's the man on the mark, yep. He can't move though, can he? He is moving.
No.
I thought the rule was...
No, can't move his feet.
He did it again then.
He did. Across the face of goal and a rush behind.
Yeah, it's a strange rule, that man on the mark, isn't it? It's not policed all that well, especially in Darwin.
Mitchell Lowe, the custodian, to bring the ball back into play. Heard the whistle. What's going on? Nothing. Lowe will run his full measure. favours the grandstand side. Over the back, courageous effort there by Barry, backed into the pack, and the ball is out of bounds, left half forward. Southern District still in attack. They lead at the 17.5-minute mark, 30 plays 13, so a 17-point lead to Southern Districts. Mitchell Lowe directing traffic. Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Matthew Dennis in front, takes a whack in the ear and will take a free kick for his troubles. And a warranted free kick. He's going to have a thick ear on the plane home tonight.
Well, his ear will be red anyway.
Red, white and black.
Swollen.
Yeah. And the ball taken. Barry once again seemed to get his hand in there to knock the ball out. A man who's got to do much better is Silver Yusuf. Hasn't had much possession. Andrew Jones, the big man, gave away a free kick, and our man once again, or one of our men, Luke Smith, gets it. Goes across comfortably.
He dropped that mark, and away go the Green Ants this time.
McLaughlin, yeah, it wasn't a good effort. Charlie McAdams been okay down there in defence. Can't do much more than what he's done. Every time it's gone down there, if he's had a chance, he's got it. Gets it out to Staunton. Staunton will go inside the corridor. Made McLaughlin reach. He goes by hand to a teammate. Chip inside forward 50. Over the back, there's a big mark and a freak. Got to be 50 metres. Got to be 50.
Come on, umpire. No. He reckons it's a mark to the Colonel, though, and
okay. I'm not umpiring the game. Patrick Doyle, consider yourself lucky. Buy a Taslotto ticket.
He'd be 25 metres out on about a 45-degree angle, and he should kick this.
But to the right of centre, which doesn't necessarily suit the right footer, Gray.
No, he's a Molly Dukas side of the ground, isn't he?
He is indeed.
Colonel Dunstan, eh?
So if it was Dylan Barry, the left footer, no problem. But Sam Dunstan has a goal. Moves in, the skip, runs in there, kicks and comes off the side of the boot, methinks, and misses to the left-hand side. So they've been wasteful, officially wasteful now, Southern Districts. They move on to 4-7-31, PINT 2-1-19, about to tick into time on in Q2.
Plenty of action around the sort of the district forward line, but not much on the scoreboard. Only 6 goals kicked for the match. So it's been a bit disappointing that way.
Mitchell Lowe runs his full measure, favours the grandstand side. Over the back, Carter can't take the mark. Second effort, very, very good for the big man, Brock Carter. Kicks forward, looking for teammates out there with the district's handball. Another slick handball away. PINT working hard. PINT realised the importance of this game. Got to hurry up, gets it forward. Queen Mary turning there, goes backwards, had to go backwards, and picks up a teammate, Thomas Shott. Had a little bit of the footy shot. Too far out to score. Goes forward, goes wide, and kicks it out of bounds.
No, still in.
It wasn't the best kick in the world, was it? Jake McQueen has got the mark. McQueen.
They're mucking around with it a bit now, districts. I think they're getting a bit frustrated themselves, eh? They can't find the scoreboard enough. Here's a man on his own, though.
Kane Stevens gets it forward, looks for Delaney. Mucked it up. The PINT persistence has been terrific. Delaney taken high, PINT persistence once again. They get the football out, nowhere to go, all wrapped up. And again the handball out wide. McAdam goes onto the preferred left foot, looking out for Barry. Barry can't find it. Worried out of the football. Well done, PINT. They're on the move. That's
great tackle, Barry.
Caden Melseed. That was his first possession. Son of Steve Melseed. Picked up PINT to kick on goal, and no mark taken. Ball on the ground. Goes back by hand. Dispossessed. PINT in their forward line deep, running into an open goal, and I reckon he's missed to the left-hand side. In fact, he's missed everything.
Might be a throw-in. And don't forget you're watching AFL and T's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season, Ian, and we're live from Norbuilt Oval in Darwin, watching the Southern District's PINT's blockbuster.
It was Andrew Mead Harding, dragged off the foot. The Southern District's defence is
ferocious. It's ferocious.
It is too, and certainly Charlie McAdams been great down there.
They will not let the wind get past them, eh? Not that there's much wind out here.
Series of handballs.
again.
Still a series of handballs.
They've mucked it up.
And certainly working hard in that series of handballs. Kane Stevens. It's been okay.
It's only been one goal kick this quarter, hasn't it? So it should be a fairly short quarter, right? I think the players will be a bit relieved on that too. They look a bit weary out there, both sides.
Yeah. But a wasteful Southern Districts, 4-7.
Yes, they'll kick 1-3. Pint haven't scored. Districts, of course, have the breeze this quarter. How many goals in that? About 2?
Yeah, not a huge number. And it is half time. We don't hear the siren out here.
No, it's a silent siren.
So half time, 4-7, 31 Southern Districts, Point 2-1 13. We'll be back shortly.
A long way up. Someone's got to get into that square for the Green Ants. Instead, Ethan just goes right across and finds Taylor.
Taylor was there for a while, waving his hand.
He was, wasn't he?
He gave him time to get into the position he wanted him and then just dropped it in there. But he was there a long time by himself. Handballs it off.
Plays on quickly, does the number 8 Jet Trotter. And Trotter's put the first goal on the board for the Green Ants. Buffs. Timmy Eldridge has just been caught. Let go. No, he's been pinged for holding the ball. Board, second goal in about 2 minutes. And he does it. So Alex Harvey is on the board with 1. Collins. Joey Collinson just puts it on the boot. Up into the air. Stafford got one hand on it. Liam Holtz-Fitz did too. Bouncing ball towards the goal is going to go through.
It's the one they needed. He took the opportunity. He's had a couple of chances today. Holtz-Fitz.
Forward. Danger times here. Picked up by Holtz-Fitz. Just kicked a great goal. He goes inside the 50 looking for Nicky. Cochrane Nicky's got his there. Balks. Then lets it go. Then goes at goals himself because he can kick him. Corridor is courageous, but it's taken by Mullane, so they've got a little bit of space and time on now. This is danger for the Green Ants, and especially if Holtz-Fitz is involved and he can snap a goal, and I think he's done it again.
He'll take those all day if you give them to him.
Yusuf uses his body to run onto it. Then from the right foot, looking for Kyle Winter-Irving, the big man juggles it, can't get it. Coming through was Timmy Eldridge, couldn't pick it up cleanly. Maroney can't get it. Jet Trotter's worried off it. Picked up by Alex Harvey. Right foot, left foot snap at goal is all clear.
So very similar to the start of the second quarter, a very early goal to Pint.
In Favoretto, influential in the second quarter was Favoretto. Stafford, clever, just tipped it away. Then steps onto his right, 50 out. He's looking to guide it through from that far out. Is it going to bounce through? I reckon the all clear is going to be given, and it is. Alex Harvey has been dangerous all quarter. He's got 3. Doyle just bounces off his chest. Maroney. Oh, this is overrunning it there.
All numbers.
Was Ryan. Ryan's over the left foot snap is all clear.
3 in a row for Ryan, and that's given them a big lead now going into three-quarter time.
Centre wing. Ethan Penrith just shows the ball. Gives it off to Tyler Flanagan. Flanagan over the top. Kyle Winter-Irving just running into open space. He's given them a target. He's presented himself very well. But he just hasn't been able to put the score on the board. Although I think he might have done it that time. He has.
Yes, he has.
to Kirby. Comes off hands. Collis just gets boot to ball, works it forward. Running onto it's Magro now. Goes on his left, straight through. He kicks his second of the day, and he's in a bit of a purple patch form-wise. Good work to Jaden Magro. They extend their lead to 11 points. In fact, it's just a throw up. Eddie Morris takes it out of the ruck, snaps on goal. Umpire doesn't move. Is that a goal? It is. What a fantastic goal there from Eddie Morris. Thought it might have been touched. There wasn't really much of an applaud there, but great start to the account for Wanderers. They move to 1-4-10, trailing Waratah 2-2-14.
One of Waratah's best players all year.
O'Connell, he picks the ball up from a stray handball, running through plenty of space, kicks it forward. He finds his target there in Brenton Motlop. He looks forward, instead goes semi-laterally to Arbin, and Arbin kicks on goal. Umpire moves back, kicks the first to the second quarter. Wanderers hit the lead. Missed the ball completely. Turnbull picks it up, gets a handball out. That's a laser beam-like pass. Perfect to Benulis.
The Tars. Almost like a free kick. No one else behind the goals, and he converts it.
So half-time at 7-5, 47. Waratah leading the Wanderers 2-6-18. Mop it up. Goes a little soccer side kick.
Yep.
Now running back to its Jiren Dobson.
Oh.
Out to Collis. Collis runs through, gets in space, kicks on goal. That goes through. Umpire barely moves. So Dill Collis kicks a goal in that last quarter. He kicks another one in this one. Short, sharp one. Can't find Morris on the full, but he's in space. He on his left as well. Goes to Hope. Beautiful kick. Beautiful mark.
Yep.
Bit of feedback from the crowd. Doesn't listen to it, does he? He just kicks truly. And as you said, his third of the afternoon. He'll come out, find Nicky. No, he won't. Magro on goal. That one's gone through.
Magro. Magic Magro has 4 and replies instantaneously there for the Tars.
Handballed out, O'Connell running through. Trying to will his team forward, so too is this man. McFarlane runs in, handballs it over the top.
Nice.
And Brenton Motlop will just trickle it through for a goal. His first of the day.
Robinson indicating he's going to go up. Gets a hand on it. Pushes it towards goal. Running onto it was Quinn. And the Tigers are on the board.
He's got that through.
Goes back in board. Not a great kick. Now this lands in the hands of Bailey Edwards, who can run straight towards an open goal and score. Tigers loose inside. Wines reaching down to get it. They just keep moving it forward. Yaron, quick hands out. Comes to Lant. Left foot shot at goal. Tanunda. Lant, balks, then handballs. He's got the running Jacob Long. Long from outside 50. Has got
It's always good to have a backup, isn't it?
Yeah, we did have a backup for that broke.
And welcome back here to Norbuilt Oval for the round 16 NTFL clash between Southern Districts, the home side, and PINT. PINT have to win this game, but they're trailing at half-time, Ian. They're down by 16 points, by 18 points in fact. 2 goals, 1 to 4-7. Can you see the Green Ants coming back?
Well, it's interesting. The Green Ants didn't score in that quarter, but by the same token, Southern Districts only managed 1 goal 3. So both defences well and truly on top. No avenue to goal. Big Sam Dunstan had his hand on the ball a couple of times for Southern Districts, but he's only got a goal. So all single goal kickers for Southern Districts, as are single goal kickers for the Pointers. But 4-7 and it's 18 points. It was 9 points at quarter time, now 18 points. So they've doubled, but not really a lot to write home about.
And you say Sam Dunstan got his hands on the ball, Ian. Well, I can't remember a PINT player getting his hand on the ball up forward.
Up forward. No, the goal kickers for the Pointers up there have been Alex Harvey, who got an opportunist goal, a long goal, and Thomas Burnett, he got the opportunist goal, both in that first term. Scoreless, absolutely scoreless in the second term. And I understand Motlop did okay for Wanderers today, Gray.
Yes, over at TIO, I see that he kicked 12 goals.
That's Stephen Motlop.
Stephen Motlop, the former Port Adelaide and Geelong champion, has kicked 12 goals with a bad shoulder.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show what a good footballer that guy is. And Wanderers won by 90 points, but unfortunately it won't revive their final flame because it flickered out about a fortnight ago.
Now looking out, Gray, to the south, there's a bit of dark cloud.
Yes, well, you being a former Weather Bureau genius, what's the word? Will it rain?
Well, I like to look out to the east, which is essentially, if it's not monsoonal, where the storms come from, the east is out that way, Gray. So out behind us, no, that's okay. And it's a bit dark out there too, but we'll see if we can get through. But 4-7-31 Southern Districts, PINT 2-1-13. The Pointers scoreless in the second term, the third term. The premiership quarter, the old premiership quarter,
yes, the
right?
championship quarter. And just goes to show, Ian, if they didn't score in the second quarter when the weather was fine, will they score when it's belting down rain?
Oh, goodness gracious me. I don't know. But look, goal kickers for, and we haven't seen Jack Mentha. We reckon he limped off late in that. He got the opening goal at the 10-minute mark of the first term. Also goals in the first term, Dylan Barry, Luke Smith. And the second term, Big Sam Dunstan got a goal. And the goal scorers we've mentioned, Alex Harvey and Thomas Burnett for PINT.
Just thinking that the district's hierarchy, the coaches' box, will be very pleased with their backline. They've manned up, they've used the ball very well, and that handball that handball game they've got going is magnificent.
It is, isn't it? And back in the ruck, and I reckon that Brock Carter's got a few centimetres on the big man, his opponent, and Matthew Dennis, but Matthew Dennis has probably had the better of this duel.
Yeah, he's more of a round-the-ground truck.
Well, he is, and he doesn't need a rest. He doesn't like to sit on the pine. And Carter, we mentioned we were looking for him for about 10 or 15 minutes in that second term. The field umpire has it in the middle, and it'll be Dennis and Carter. Carter got the ball down. Matthew Dennis, he went and ruck and he roved. He picked it up, and the field umpire said, correctly, give it to me, gentlemen, and Luke Smith will do that. The field umpire tosses it wide. Dennis was taken high. Carter looks like he's a little bit in a bit of trouble there, and he's limping. Actually, we'll keep an eye on Carter too, Gray, because he's limping. And the man of the moment, and that's Jake McQueen, has the football.
Yeah, the best player on the ground today, Dean, I think.
He's certainly been terrific, hasn't he? He kicks it forward. Mark dropped, picked up PINT. They clear. They go by hand. Mitchell Lowe lurking. The custodian for PINT, number 34. Carter looks okay now. He's lifted and moved forward, and his direct opponent, not sure where he is. It'll be Sam Dunstan. So it'll be Dunstan v Carter in the ruck. Dunstan deep in the forward line. So Matthew Dennis having a rest, building the wall, the defensive wall, and he'll need it because PINT bring the ball back into play. We'll find the footy soon enough. Threw the ball away. That Southern Districts player, that was Luke Delaney.
Yeah, a little bit lucky to get away with that, I thought.
Yeah, looked it, didn't he?
And the field umpire, and he's about half the size of those ruckmen.
Yes, he is, but does a good job.
A miniature.
Not the size of the dog in the fight, Gray, and all that sort of stuff. Ball knocked down. Carter picked up. Districts kicked the ball back. Luke Smith in a hurry. Gets it back, didn't use it to an advantage. Comes back to Smith. Got rid of the football just in time. Districts get the ball out. Our man McQueen kicks it forward. Got a target down there. No one in particular. Running hard at the football. Taken high, surely. Play on called the umpire. Over his head.
That's a good
McQueen! And is it over the line? No, it's not, according to the goal umpire, who was in perfect position. PINT, bring the ball back. Mitchell low. Has a player running. Thomas shot. Right half back. Squares it up. That's the centre half back. Dragowth. Been busy. Not much on offer.
Yeah, this is PINT's problem. They just haven't got a permanent target. He's going to go deeper in the pocket.
It's 2-on-1, and Bowden doesn't often get beaten.
3-on-1 that was.
Yeah, in those sort of numbers. And Michael Bowden will see
off
the
his
ball.
boot. That was off his boot. Well picked up there, boundary umpire. The last split second it went off the PINT, those orange boots.
Bowden has the kick. Did it just. Matthew Dennis runs inside. The man on the mark can't move, which is a horrible adjustment to the laws of the game. He's got to watch the man run around the mark, and if the field umpire doesn't quickly call play on, he stands there, and if he moves, he gets banged back 50 anyway. I don't want to keep going, but I'm not happy with it.
There's that handball game.
A series of handballs. Southern Districts go forward. Man out wide. He's our man again. Jake McQueen gets it inside by hand. Another handball inside. Back by hand. Too much handball. They're going backwards and they're going backwards and they're going nowhere. And they're going to get caught and they're going to lose possession because of silly handball. One handball, one kick.
It's a word for that, Ian. Lairising. They're starting to lairise for some reason. I'm not quite sure. They're only 18 points in front. And I'm not sure the coach, Mr. Rusk, will be all that happy about that. As I look over there at the coach's bench, yes, and he's got a snarl on his face. Shannon, he's a perfectionist, Ian, and he doesn't like his players to muck around. No.
Well, there was too much handball there, wasn't there? One handball, perhaps two, then the kick. But no, they had 4 or 5 handballs, and they just got deeper and deeper into trouble. PINT, switch the play, scoreboard side. Let's see if they make them pay. Kick it up the scoreboard wing, but Michael Bowden over the back will swing onto the left foot, the trusty left foot, goes forward. Picks up a teammate out there. That's Waitman. Waitman ducks around the man on the mark.
Where's he going? Pocket.
Kicks to the pocket. Big arms over the back. Over the football. Hasn't got possession. Field umpire should say, give it to me. And he does. And he will. And he'll toss it up. And it's left half forward. Southern Districts in attack. Been pretty unenterprising. No score. 4-7 plays 2-1, and we're 5 minutes into the third term.
Yes, definitely a battle of the defences, Ian. That's all it's been really for the first bounce.
It has indeed. Foot to the football. Oh, lovely mark taken there. Well done.
See, PINT now.
Mel Seed, sorry.
You have a look at the PINT players, and they're just sort of, they've got arms in the air, but they're not moving.
No.
And they've been forced right up the ground too, of course, right up to the middle of the ground. They've got one player down here at centre half forward, and the rest, in the middle of the ground.
Across the face of goal, kick to forward to it, almost to advantage there. Matt Ryan, the skipper, couldn't take the mark. Charlie McAdams been a revelation. Gets it back to Fijo. Was good in the first quarter, been quiet since then. Fijo kicks forward, looking for a mate out there. Dallas Willsmore. Willsmore drops what he should have taken. Ball on the ground, in dispute, centre half forward. Crocs in attack, gets it out to Big Mazzini. Series of handballs. picked up by the skipper, kicked in by Southern Districts, running around, Luke Smith, handballs. Looks like he tried to handball a goal, for goodness sake. Why don't you try and kick a goal? Smith loses possession. Southern Districts now PINT in control, and PINT will go across the face of goal, which is what they normally do.
Well, you're right, Ian. To get it 6 points, you have to kick it off your boot.
Yes, you can't handball.
You cannot get 6 points off your hand.
Silver, one of his rare possessions, takes the mark. Too far out to score. Outside 50. Tries to run around the man on the mark. Good umpiring. Ball. Yep. And the advantage paid. Well done. That's good umpiring. Southern Districts in control. Picked up. Kick forward. Who to? Staunton. Staunton goes in. Looks for and finds a teammate forward.
And that's all to do with Fancy Dan's there, number 33 for PINT, who was in
Silver.
fact Silver's Yusuf.
Yep.
His dancing boots weren't good enough, Ian.
So Luke Smith has the chance to be the only multiple goal scorer in a pretty tough game.
What they call a dour struggle.
Dower, yes, that's the word. Luke Smith, left of centre. He is a right footer. Should be money for old Rope for him, but no. Kicks across the face of goal. Ball on the ground. Free kick paid. Where will it go? PINT in front, and was rewarded. Well done. That's good umpiring. Ben Smythe.
Who's 18 for Districts there, Ian? That is...
Mazzini.
He was the one who caught the dancing feet of Yusuf before.
Yeah, well, he's a big, tall defender. He does well. Hasn't had much to do today. Ball kicked forward. 77 Sunset Strip. Ethan Smith gets it across the face of goal. They haven't advanced 10 metres in 4 kicks. Centre half back, full back, back to the pocket.
Back to whence it came.
Thomas shot.
See, they're uncertain now. They don't know whether a handball or kick will go short. They've mucked this up.
And Charlie McAdam, who's been a terrific player.
I was going to say, who was the first man of the contest, eh?
Yep.
C. McAdam.
And he's got the free kick, and much deserved too. Well done.
He was the first one there, yep.
It's a good free kick, good umpiring.
Must be the bloodlines, you think.
McAdam.
Look at this.
Onto the left foot. Where's he going? Out to Driscoll, who's been quiet since quarter time. Driscoll toes the ball forward. And the mark taken deep in defence. Penrith hasn't had much of the footy since quarter time, or the first term. He's got a few mates. Penrith goes backwards and will kick the ball out of bounds. Well. Surprise, surprise. They've got 2 goals on the board and they're kicking
backwards. Yeah, trying to save the game, Ian. But the only thing wrong with that is that they're behind.
Well, mind you, it's only 18 points, and Southern Districts haven't scored in this third term either, and we're almost halfway through the term.
Yeah, but I thought when you saved a game, you had to be in front in the first place. Anyway.
Yeah, it helps. So ball on the ground, ball in dispute, right full forward. Southern Districts in attack. Luke Smith over the football. Out of bounds once again, 15 metres around from the Southern Districts goal.
Has there been a score this quarter?
No.
Not even a behind?
No.
Yes.
I can't be more definite. Ask me again. No.
Well, one good thing, Ian, we've got a beautiful breeze that's sprung up.
Yep.
Hopefully that doesn't mean rain.
So we're doing all right. It doesn't matter. We're doing all right. PINT, have it. But where do they go? They go backwards. Slipped across to the scoreboard side. Running hard at the football.
He's going to get caught, though. This district guy will grab him.
Ronald Fijo, and he's forced the error. And Fijo actually forced the error there. And you picked it right, Gray, because he was chasing hard, Ronald Fijo.
He ran very hard.
And he is a different player than what he was at Wanderers. Not better, but different, isn't he?
Yep. Very, very good bit of back defence then.
Kicks it inside. Driscoll runs around his opponent because he's not allowed to move. Ball knocked forward by Smith. Smith been all right for the Pointers. Running hard this time.
Like Ben Galbraith. Haven't called him much.
No, Southern Districts. It kicks with precision. Districts go forward. Over the back. PINT take the mark. Will they go backwards? Will they go backwards? Will they go backwards? Yes, they will. They will go backwards. They kick slightly across the face of goal, and surprise, surprise, they've mucked it up. And that wasn't much better. And the mark, big strong mark taken.
Nice mark though for Districts. Yeah,
Yeah.
who was that?
I reckon that might have been Dunstan.
Colonel Dunstan.
It is indeed. So Dunstan, right forward pocket. He is a right footer, so wrong side for the right footer, or the non-preferred side for the right footer. Has a goal. Can he become the only multiple goal scorer for the game?
Might have to go for a banana. The old backward kick, you know, you wobble it away.
Oh,
to
don't
the right.
talk backwards to me, Gray. I've been seen enough backwards footy all game.
Swing it backwards. Let's see if the Colonel can do it.
Dunstan to kick on goal.
He's a
It was
pretty
a
sharp
courageous,
angle.
yeah, it was a courageous mark.
Pretty sharp angle though, isn't it?
Yep, right full forward. Distance not an issue. Dunstan kicks on goal, and you're right, he did wobble it, but he wobbled it too much.
And you see,
The minor score. But one of the teams has scored in this third term, which
Hooray.
is 12 minutes in.
I think he bowled an in-swinger instead of an out-swinger.
He did indeed.
So, good heavens, the scoreboard has moved. 4 goals, 8 to 2-1. Been going here in 12 and a half minutes.
Fijo misjudged that. Good mark taken. Point. Kick it inside. Silver, one of his rare possessions. Calling for the football. Braden Taylor goes in his direction. Mazzini, big fist over the top. Bowden forced off the football. Taken high. Good free kick by the field umpire. That was silly. It was unnecessary. Bousted gave it away. And Braden Taylor, too far out to score. Right half forward.
You'd think he'd lob this in the goal square, wouldn't you?
Oh, gee, it's a long kick.
Oh,
It's 2.5 kicks, I reckon. Kicks it short, over the top. Can't take the mark, but a strong mark taken in front that time by Andrew Mead Harding. Harding goes onto the left foot, centres the football, the sensible thing to do. Ball on the ground, ball in dispute.
That's that handball game going again
Yeah,
here.
and
Look
there
at
we
this.
go on the outside. But one handball too many. They mucked it up. Dived at his legs. Probably should have got a free kick there, Southern Districts. Ball kicked across the face of goal. He's lifted a little bit, Braden Taylor.
Gone into the pocket here. Big jump out of bounds.
Minor score. So a point each in the third term. Quick play the ball.
You run into an open goal.
And
here,
you
will
run
it?
into an open goal and kick it. Against the run of play, Andrew Mead Harding kicks a goal. And that was because that defensive player there, it was Charlie McAdam, didn't run at the football.
Brings them to within 2 goals then. So it just goes to show if you don't annoy the scoreboard enough, then the other side might sneak up on you.
Indeed.
And that's what's happened.
Against the run of play.
A missed kick there ended up in the hands of Mead Harding. And he then ran into an open goal while Charlie McAdam could only watch. So that's their
He was a
third
spectator,
goal.
wasn't he? He was a spectator that time, McAdam. And it's been very good all game.
So 12 shots to 5, but they're only 12 points in front. Been going nearly 15 minutes in the championship third quarter. And those clouds, Ian, where are they going? Over us.
Don't know. The men here with all the electronics, they're panicking. And I'm not going to touch anything. Ball back in the middle. McLaughlin over the footy. Gets the ball out nicely to Sexton. The kick was smothered. Point now. Will they clear? Low. Gets it wide. Gets into the corridor. That's a smart move. Ethan Penrith.
And
One bounce.
He can run this
2
guy. Well,
bounces.
yeah.
Kicks it long. Across the face of goal slightly. Mark not taken.
Patrick Doyle from Rovers in the CAFL.
Point battling hard. They've lifted the pointers. They have lifted. Mead Harding in the van here. Bowden over the back. Kicked off the ground, Yusuf.
Oh, good bit of back work there by Driscoll, is it?
Yep, Driscoll it is. Big man.
Brilliant, actually.
Breaks the tackle. The kick's got to be precise. And it is not. But it's out of bounds. Not on the full.
I was thinking there was minimal intent, but... I'm sorry, maximum intent, or whatever the new rule is, but no.
Yeah, I think Staunton was around about the mark, so he's a teammate. Ball to be tossed in by the boundary umpire.
Some desperate defence there by Driscoll.
It was indeed, but Pint in attack.
You're right, Ian, they have lifted.
Right half forward. Pint now fighting hard for the football, 2-on-1. Normally it's the other way around. And the field umpire says, give it to me. And a benevolent move there by the Pint player to help his opponent up. Over the back. Kick it off the ground. Does it nicely. Running hard. Back inside play. Sexton. Driscoll. This time. Running hard. Taj Stanley. Gets it out to Bowden. Too far out to score. Bowden. Kicks it in the direction of Dunstan. Dunstan dropped what he should have taken. Mightn't have been Dunstan that time. I think that might have been Willsmore. Oh, high tackle in there.
Free kick to District.
Genuine high tackle, yep, and warranted free kick.
Coming back for the kick there, looks like one of the younger brigade. Did he go around the corner around? Dangerous, or did it work?
Jack Sexton
It worked.
deserves a goal. Been fantastic, Sexton. So that's even the ledger. A goal each and a point each in the third term, and we're 17 and a half minutes in. It is 5-8-38 Southern Districts. The Pointers 3-2-20.
Definitely not a high-scoring game, man.
No.
Only 8 goals scored, and we've been going nearly 18 minutes in the third quarter. Must win though for Pint. They've lifted, but unfortunately they've let that goal get away when they're probably on top. Went down the other end, and Sexton got a free kick and goal. So
And goals are gold, aren't they, in these low-scoring games?
yes, they'll be disappointed with that Pint. Their intent, like I said, their pressure, everything had lifted, but they've let a goal go, and that's 6 valuable points for the Crocodiles.
Carter gets his hand to the football. Smith kicks across his body. Who to? No one in particular. Good tackle. Got the ball out by hand. Well done. By hand again. Under pressure. The pressure by Pint now, that's lifted. It's lifted by 50%. You know, it's been terrific.
But they can't afford to let goals get scored against them.
Oh,
like
no,
the last
no.
one. It was a bad tackle and a goal to District. So all that hard work in, they're virtually back to square one.
Down the gurgler. That's right. Dennis in front, but I reckon Brock over the back. Knocked it forward. No one in particular. Take 2.
And you're right, that's been a keen contest, that Carter Dennis contest.
Contest, it has indeed. And we see number 34, number 33, the 2 dashes. The dasher, number 34, Charlie McAdam. Set, dead even contest there, and both players wrapped up. The field umpire correctly said, give it to me.
And you're watching AFL and T's coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season, and we're out here at Norbuilt Oval to watch Southern Districts and Pint in the blockbuster of round 16.
Carter over the back. How he didn't get a free kick there for a high tackle, I'll never know, but nonetheless, I'm not umpiring the game, so Charlie McAdam will see the ball out of bounds. He'll toss the ball back benevolently to the boundary umpire.
And that breeze increasing in, so that probably this end of the ground, I'd say it's about a 2.5 goal breeze now. So it'll be hard for Pint to get back into it. They've got to score.
That might turn into a 2.5 goal rain advantage. Ball knocked forward, Matthew Dennis.
Yes.
Ball in dispute. Smith over the footy, can't find the handle. And Kane Stevens, who's been busy for Southern Districts.
Pint certainly haven't dinted the scoreboard enough. It's the quarter's nearly over, and they've only got 1.
Matthew Dennis gets it down to Stevens. Stevens goes forward. The double fist out of bounds, out of play.
Yes, a few Pint players who aren't at the peak they were at last week. Alex Harvey, number 20, has done a bit. He kicked their first goal, but certainly hasn't been involved enough, you wouldn't have thought.
No, hasn't had a lot of possession, has he? Jones now, he's got given the chop out by Carter's given him the chop out. And McQueen goes around the corner. Districts go forward. Nice kick, no mark. Should have been taken. And probably the first mistake Jack Sexton has made, if it was a mistake.
That's one thing, and there's been a lot of drop marks in this game. Is the ball a bit slippery?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting point. You wouldn't have thought so. I mean, the ground is slightly heavy, but it's not wet.
No.
Not yet.
There has been a lot of drop marks, mainly overhead tops.
Yep. A lot of pressure by the defence too, I think, Gray. Fijo gets the ball forward. Nice mark over the back. And there he is again, Jake McQueen, standout player.
Yes, he'll have sore.
But if he could finish this, Gray, I reckon ball game.
He'll have sore hands by the time he hits the bathroom and has a shower. He'll look at his hands and see
mud
and leather.
Red leather
poisoning.
markings from the Sharon, yep.
That's right.
He fancies himself. He's the right of centre. Again, I always like to look at this because he is a right footer. He'd prefer to be on the other side so he could curl the ball back.
I reckon he's kicking into the face of the breeze, though, so
yes.
He's going to need a thumping kick. The former Essendon listed player, of course.
Jake McQueen moves in, kicks.
A nice looking kick from here.
Oh, the goal umpire didn't move, but didn't move because the ball was clearly a minor score. And there's the siren. We heard the siren. It is quarter time, three-quarter time. 5:09:39 to 3:2:20.
And we'll be back shortly out here at Norbuilt Oval. And welcome back here to Norbuilt Oval, where we've got a close one, probably the close one of the day, Ian, at this stage. Districts lead by 20 points, 5 goals 10 they are in fact. We thought it was 5-9. So it's 5-10-40 to 3-2-20, and we're about to start the last quarter. And
they advanced their lead by 2 points because it was 18 points at half-time, 9 points at quarter-time, now 5-10, as you said, Gray, 40 to 3-2-20. So you do the sum, and that's a 20-point lead to the home team at Southern Districts, who are 2 points ahead on top of the ladder. And PINT, really, they're not all that far. I mean, it's 3-4 goals, isn't it?
If you multiply their score by 2, you'll get the score that Districts have got. 40.
Yeah, but they need a win, PINT. So
good umpire. Carter against your mate.
Matthew Dennis, rucked. Matthew Dennis
play,
rove, picked it up, kicked it forward, and a mark taken deep in defence. Ethan Penrith, but the ball picked up Southern Districts, ducked his head in the marking contest, did Willsmore. Ball on the ground, but Willsmore's second effort was pretty good. A couple of players with headaches.
I'm just looking over my left shoulder around at those dark clouds. We may need an umbrella.
Ball to be tossed up by the field umpire. Deep in Southern District's forward line. Matthew Dennis, terrific effort. Penrith, handballed it away in defence. Districts to kick on goal. Minor score. Surprise, surprise.
That looked like Mentha, was it? It couldn't have been. He hadn't played since court. No, it wasn't. Number 10. And that is, in fact,
Kane Stevens. Mitchell Lowe, the custodian, to bring the ball back. Usually it runs outside the square. Does it again, but only by 2 or 3 metres. Gets it forward and finds a teammate forward. Well done. Precise kick. The big man, Thomas Schott, been one of their better players, the Pointers. Schott favours the scoreboard side. Kicks it forward, pushed off the contest. Yeah, late free kick, but the free kick was there. Point go forward.
We go back to McMahon, yep.
Kick goes forward. Silver and McAdam. McAdam would use his body in front. Silver, terrific effort. Yeah. McAdam grabbed his leg, free kick, paid.
Yeah, we're right.
Been a good contest.
Ian, we're just looking at the weather map here.
Silver Yusuf.
It appears most of the rain is south of us, so we're right.
Kicks on goal and Gray misses to the near side.
Will not rain, eh?
Will not rain.
So a point to PINT?
A point to PINT. Silver Yusuf. Bowden, the trusty left foot, brings it out over the back. Driscoll sees the ball run to a teammate, running around corners. Luke Smith. Driscoll almost cleaned up his own mess, and the ball is out of bounds, adjacent to the Southern Districts interchange area. You said it would not rain, Gray. I felt a spot.
I didn't.
That must have curled around you. Ball to be tossed in by the boundary umpire. Still slightly in favour of the PINT forward line. A couple of Districts players will see the ball out of bounds. Luke Smith, been all right. Mitchell Lowe, grabbed in the tackle, didn't have prior opportunity. Surely play on called the umpire. Correct call, and the ball is out of bounds. This time near the PINT interchange area. So they've advanced, Southern Districts.
I can tell you, Ian, the boundary umpires have certainly earned their pay, haven't they?
They certainly have.
Been out of bounds a lot.
Wind blowing across the ground.
There's a lovely breeze without any rain in it.
Tossed the ball in by the boundary umpire. Over the back. Picked up shot. Kicked forward. McAdam and Yusuf. Southern Districts have the footy. Forward they go, and Luke Smith knocks the ball to no one's advantage. Charlie McAdam gets the ball out. Little chip forward to no one. Running hard at the football. Sold the dummy. Smith gets it forward.
Gee, some of Districts.
Ethan Penrith. Sorry, Gray.
Some of the district's disposal are starting to get a bit sloppy.
I think they're lairising a little bit, but certainly the pressure put on by PINT has been excellent.
Yeah.
They've got a bit of catching up to do. They're 19 points down, one-hander.
Long way from goal, though.
It was Alex Harvey, got the first goal for the Pointers, and it goes forward to Matt Ryan, the skipper.
Haven't called him very much today.
No, but can kick a goal.
He's their captain. He kicked 3 or 4 against the Buffaloes last week, was very good. And if ever they need a captain's goal, it's right now.
So trailing by 20 points.
5 minutes into the last quarter, down by 20. Can Matty Ryan make a hero of himself?
Onto the left foot.
No, it's not going to make it.
No, didn't make the distance. Ball on the ground, still in dispute, but a rush behind. Michael Bowden, the reliable Michael Bowden.
So a point to PINT.
Brings the ball back in. Over the back, Matthew Dennis can't take the mark. Ball on the ground, in dispute. Harvey first to the football, but it beats him over the boundary line. It'll be tossed in by the boundary umpire into the teeth of this breeze. 41 plays 22, Southern Districts by 19 points. 5.5 minutes into the final term. Jones, no match for Dennis. Don't know why he didn't kick the football instead of trying to finesse. And got a free kick, high tackle.
Yes, it's pretty hard seeing PINT kicking 4 goals to hit the front when they've only kicked 2.5, is it, for the whole game?
Yep.
Or
so we've got toing and froing. Kane Stevens. They're half kicks are going halfway, Southern Districts. Bowden pushed out of the football. McAdam goes by hand.
Oh, over handballing again.
The old look away handball. Sold the dummy. Onto the left foot. And a nice kick and a nice mark taken. Willsmore gets it. Goes back by hand. Where's Dunstan?
Colonel.
There he is. Over the back. Running into an open goal is Luke Smith. Goes wide to Driscoll. Driscoll goes by hand. Busts through the tackle. Kicks around the corner. And, of course, misses to the near side. PINT will clear. Quick play the football. Gets it inside to Melseed. Melseed, son of Steve, kicks it under pressure. Bowden doesn't miss his beat usually. Driscoll, neither does he.
Very good handball. This
Long
one.
handball. Well, now they've got a kick. They do kick the football. Kicked it up forward and a goal.
That looks like,
Yeah.
I was going to say McQueen, but it's not McQueen. It's the guy giving the high fives. 31.
It's Barry.
Is it? Barry.
Yeah. Yep.
The boy from Alice Springs, from Rovers.
Dylan Barry is the only multiple goal scorer of the game. Has 2. 1 in the first and 1 in the final.
Yes, the Rovers goal kicker had a run with North or South Adelaide this season, but obviously back in the Northern Territory.
Dylan Barry.
Big left footer, yep. And I think that's game, set, and match. In fact, I can nearly hear the fat lady singing in. But she's over in the handstand.
So that's 26 points. So that's 5 goals now, isn't it?
Yep. 6 goals to 3, but they've had how many shots? They've had 18 shots, is it? No. Yeah, it's 18 shots to 7.
Oh, lovely tap. Matthew Dennis. Rucks, then gets the ball back. Gets the ball back from Sexton. For mine, best player on the ground. Although this bloke is McQueen's been pretty good too. Runs around one way, then the other, kicks it forward. Luke Smith dropped what he should have taken and wasn't quick enough to get the ball out by hand selfishly. And the play on, the advantage, no. Good umpiring there. He was well and truly in front and play had stopped.
Good defensive work there from Lowe, who's also been good down back.
Oh, Mitchell Lowe's always
PINT,
good. Yep.
But Butters, yeah, very good.
The custodian, I call him. He just does everything down there. Kicks the ball across the face of goal. When they're 5 goals down, they need to go straight down the corridor. Kicked it wide. Big Jones. Haven't had a 50-metre penalty in the game yet, so it's about time we had one.
It's a bit like McQueen before going the short pass. He had the breeze behind him. He should have just gone long for goal. But everything's good in hindsight.
Is this the 50-metre penalty? What's going on?
Well, you're the umpire, in.
I wasn't. I was watching the. I was watching the monitor.
What have they done? Even the umpire looks a bit confused here. He's throwing the ball back after free kick to...
So they've reversed the free kick, so Big Dunstan's got it.
Yep. He's going short too.
Of course he is.
And he's dropped the mark.
Yeah, Willsmore. And ball on the ground, in dispute. Jones gets the ball out by hand to a teammate, but it goes out of bounds. Oh my goodness gracious me, we shouldn't be too critical, but conditions are okay. A bit sticky, a bit heavy, but not wet, not slippery.
Yeah, the amount of drop marks today has really amazed me, and I'm not quite whether the ball's like a greasy pig or it's just unfunctional.
Tossed in by
Here's your boy.
Yeah. McQueen runs across the face. Who to?
Well, someone's hurt their finger or wrist.
Yeah, it sounded a bit clunky, didn't it? Ethan Smith goes forward, kicks to advantage of his teammate Burnett, a goal kicker in the first. Oh, well played.
Yes, the captain's had a good day today.
Yeah, he has. And good experience. Kicks the ball forward. Sexton. Sexton goes inside. No one in particular. In fact, 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Silva Yusuf stabs the ball backwards. Braden Taylor, been all right. Taylor goes forward. Jet Trotter. Out of bounds on the full? No. Yes.
Yes, they've certainly been brave, PINT, but they just haven't had the ammunition to...
No, 3 goals for the game, and we're halfway through the final term. Not good enough, Gray, for a team with finals pretensions.
Well, unfortunately...
Or ambitions.
Their aspirations are over now, and if they don't win this game, which they won't, it's curtains for 23.
Ball goes forward. Left half forward, Districts well battered down by Barry, the last goal kicker, the only multiple goal kicker. Barry onto the trusty left foot, misses to the near side, of course, Gray.
They're the impossible goals that Dylan can kick.
Occasionally they get 6-13 to 3-4. Comprehensive so far.
What they call impossible goals. I don't know where that term comes from, but...
Damien McMahon goes forward. Gets it to Mead Harding. Mead Harding further forward. Matt Ryan, the rangy Matt Ryan. Nice defensive work, Southern Districts. Charlie McAdam picks the ball up. Had the ball on a bit of a string today, McAdam. Goes forward and does it with precision. Inside they'll go. And they go backwards and they mucked it up. Why do they kick backwards? I mean, I've asked that question. Burnett kicked a goal in the first. Burnett goes forward, puts pressure on the defence, but the defence is up to it, and Mazzini takes this big, strong mark from a big, strong man. Hasn't done much, but what he's done has been good. Goes to Driscoll. Driscoll started the game on fire. Gets it out wide to the skipper.
Been very good too.
Staunton. Gets it forward. Oh, courageous. There he is, our man. Jake McQueen. He goes forward. And
the free kick is it
pointless free kick. Yeah, it was, and it was warranted free kick. And
interfered with before the ball got
Jack
there.
Sexton will take the free kick. Now, he can't kick it from there, Grace. 2.5 kicks from goal.
Why not just go front and centre? Well, there's no one waiting in the square, is there really?
Sam Dunstan leads one way, then the other. Kicks it in the Dunstan direction. Can he take the mark? Over the back. PINT have done enough to clear the football. They did it right to get it outside. And again, Braden Taylor has been very good for PINT. He gets the ball out to a teammate. That's Alex Harvey. Harvey hasn't had enough of the footy. Goes forward this time. Does it with precision. Gets it to Doyle. Doyle further forward. In the marking vein there. PINT have it. Too little, too late, Gray. Inside they go.
Yeah, the clock's against them now, Ian, although there's a chance for a goal here. And a mark to the big fellow there.
Thomas shot.
Unfortunately for Thomas, the game is shot.
Where are we? We're at 14 minutes, or coming up to 14 minutes by the time he kicks this goal. And they'll still be 21 points down if he does.
Yes, so can Thomas make sure the game's not shot? If he kicks this, there's a sniff in. It's only slight. And a low-scoring affair.
Shot to kick on goal. Hasn't kicked one. Or today.
He's kicked that one pretty well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, I reckon. We'll give him that one. Thomas shot.
The big number 5.
4-4-28, trailing by 21 points. Southern Districts 6-13, so that's 19 scoring shots to 8. So dominating proceedings
Just
have
as
been
it's
Southern
done,
Districts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the number 5 jumper, made famous, of course, by the great Polly Farmer and G. Ablett down at Geelong. But
Yes.
he's been a reasonable servant this afternoon, Thomas.
Yep,
Shot.
he has.
But you're right, lack of goal-scoring power, Ian. I'm sure the point hierarchy in the off-season will be searching high and low for some forwards.
Yeah.
But it has been a good year, though. Finishing 6th in their first year isn't a bad effort.
Yeah, and we can't be presumptuous, but that's about where they're going to finish, isn't it?
Yeah,
Particularly
just outside the 5.
If today's game goes as it looks like it probably will.
But, the backroom staff and the coach and the players have to be commended.
Oh, certainly. Certainly, I reckon Shannon Motlop's done a fantastic job to try and get this team to gel. They've been from all parts of the country. And
yeah, that's right. They've dragged them from west, south
far
and
and
east.
wide, yeah. So again, that handball not accurate, not precise, and so immediately they've got to kick under pressure. They do kick under pressure and kick out of bounds on the full. So that's just the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And someone's hurt himself there. The skipper, I reckon.
Dean Staunton.
I reckon that's Staunton. He bumped his point rival, but I think he's hurt his shoulder again, Ian.
Oh,
He's
dear.
down on his hands and knees.
It's not like him.
He's a pretty tough character.
He is, isn't he?
Hands on his head now. The trainer coming out to have a look at him. I'd get him off the ground if I were Districts.
Big kick in.
Yes, he's coming off.
Willsmore couldn't take the mark.
Isn't he just coming back from a
Throat-
neck injury? Yeah.
Throat, I think, yeah.
So better to get him off the ground, I think.
Yep.
Safety first.
First game back, and Barry will give the ball up to the field umpire. Dylan Barry, the only multiple goal scorer in the game. One in the first, one in the last. Hanging on Brock Carter. We'll give him the tap. Ball on the ground, and we're just going a little bit slow motion at the moment. In dispute. Sold the dummy.
At Fijo?
Fijo, Ronald Fijo, kicks on goal and kicks across the face of goal.
He moves beautifully, doesn't he, Fijo, when he gets the ball?
Oh, he does.
Sidestepping and backward stepping, but unfortunately the kick was astray. Another behind to District. So what are they?
6-14. Yeah, 50 plays 28, so 22 points. Mitchell Lowe, as usual, runs his full measure, gets it forward, not precise. Districts go forward, mark dropped. Picked
This
up
time.
Fijo.
Yes, that time. He's got it.
Ronald Fijo has put the nail in the coffin well and truly, and Districts go out to a 7-14, 4-4 lead. Almost, we're just about to tick into time on in the final term. That's Fijo's first goal.
Yes, and it's interesting too, Ian, when you look at the District side, they're without probably 5 or 6 players that would start in their first 18. I'm talking about the likes of Jai Bolton, Cameron Ellis, and probably Kane Stephen. Oh, he's playing Stephen.
Kane Stephen is playing,
But
yeah.
there are quite a few, and Roy George, of course. So there's a few out.
Yep.
So they're going to have some selection headaches as the finals approach, which I guess for any coach is good.
Young Schwarz is another
one.
Another one, yeah, that you would think.
So I think there's 5 or 6 that.
They might be in a bit of trouble because with the man we see on screen with the hands on the hips, not number 26, but certainly
21.
Yeah, certainly the big man Matthew Dennis doesn't like to have a rest. Rucks all game. There's been an infringement. Just the warning. I'm not sure who the warning went to. Probably went to PINT. Next time there's an infringement, a 6-6 and 6 infringement. It'll be a free kick.
And
Matthew
Dennis won another tap out.
He did indeed. Ball drops short. The defence of Southern Districts have been strong all day. Certainly that man down there, Luke Delaney's done what he needs to do. This field umpire looks in a spot of bother.
Yes. A nice mark out here on the wing. Is that the big fellow
That
again,
is
Dennis?
indeed Matthew
Yeah.
Dennis, yep. Probably edged in front of Carter.
Yeah. It'd be in District's best 3 as well.
Yeah, Dunstan. Certainly Dunstan has been well held in defence by the PINT. It's been a communal effort down there by PINT.
And Ian, this is where the Colonel kicked his only goal from.
Tom
This is
Gaydon.
the exact position, yep. 45, say a 46 degree angle, and about 45 metres out. So can he do what any good forward should do?
He probably won't, Gray, the way
Kick
things
the
are going.
difficult goals, yeah. Drop punt. And he kicked a behind.
Of course he has.
Yes. 6:15, so guess what? There'll be goal kicking practice in districts again on Tuesday night.
7:15, Mitchell Lowe brings the ball back. Finds big Carter. Carter takes the mark, kicks it forward to no one in particular, and with no urgency and no depth into the kick. They're trailing by 6 goals. They want to get it down the other end. Charlie McAdam beating his opponent. Ball in dispute. The defence. Fijo will get the handball. Surely will get the handball. Does. Didn't sell the dummy.
Beautiful pass.
Because he sees the player forward. Willsmore kicks on the left.
And guess what? That's the captain back on the ground. Mr. Saunders. Wasn't off for very long. What's happening here?
Mitchell Lowe has the footy. Gets it out by hand. Does it calmly. Kicks forward. We liked his game. Braden Taylor. Been fantastic. We're going through the motions, Gray. We're at the 21, almost 21 minute mark. Pint. Curling around the corner.
And
nudged out.
Don't forget, Ian, that we're all watching AFLT's coverage of the 22-23 NTFL season. And we're in the dying stages of the district pint game at Norbuilt Oval.
Round 16. 2 more games for each of these teams unless they've got the bye. Gets it out wide. Right half forward. Willsmore.
The former Hawthorn champion, and he kicked a
left footer
pass.
And does it nicely. Jack Sexton takes the mark, has a goal, got one in the 3rd term. We'll run around the corner. Play on called the field umpire. Sexton kicks on goal and should not miss from there and has not.
So how many goals did he get? That's his 2nd?
It is.
1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. And that stretches the lead a bit, Ian, out to
63 plays 28. 8-15. Yeah, 8-15 to 4-4.
So 23 shots to 8. You'd expect districts to be in front. And Pint have had a go, but their lack of a good forward, even a good forward system has cost them. And it's all right not having a recognised forward, but you've got to have some structure, some system up forward, and they just haven't got it.
Well, Ethan Penrith normally gets down there and kicks a goal. Silver Yusuf normally does, but he's been pretty well held by Charlie McAdam. And their on-ballers, Jet Trotter, Thomas Schott has kicked a goal. Alex Harvey got one in the 1st term, but we just haven't seen enough of their fringe players.
And there hasn't been enough movement there and sort of leading up the ground type of players.
Jones, the chop out ruckman, as we see the electronics experts here, with a little bit of rain coming down. Thomas Burnett. Don't come near me, you blokes. I don't want to get. I don't want to get zapped. Don't touch.
I'm sure one of the experts said it wasn't going to rain then.
Will not rain, Gray. There we go. That's a goal.
Who's that?
Finally a goal. Oh, finally a goal to Pint.
Looks like the big fellow, is it? Number 4, don't know, the little
Melseed.
Oh,
so he's actually kicked a goal. Well done to Caden Melseed. His dad, I'm sure he'll be here if he's in town. We'll be wrapped in that.
Dying stages here, the round 16 game out here at Norbuilt Oval at Fred's Pass. As Pint's ambitions to play final football in are going to fall short.
They will indeed.
But as I said, they can be pretty proud of themselves for a team that's come from their first year in the Premier League. They've only just missed out on finals, and they've had very close losses too, remember?
They have, yes.
Especially midway through the season, it'll cost them, including getting only 2 points out of 8 against the Tiwi Bombers.
Yeah.
A draw and a loss. That's probably what's really killed them.
Districts in the rain, slippery ball now. They can be excused. Kick on goal. No, kick forward.
It's a nice
and
mark.
the mark taken Willsmore. Left footer. Too far out to score, methinks. Willsmore it is, onto the left foot.
As the staff here go and try and protect all the electronic equipment from damage. And there's a goal to Districts by the skipper.
It is indeed. So they've put this game to bed, haven't they?
Yes, it's a bit of karma being done now, and the amount of ball they've had. And PINT, the hands on the hips, they've had a go, but they've just run out of steam. And they're now down by a whopping 41 points. Which probably isn't a true indication of the game, really.
No, I think when you look at the scoring shots.
Well, those scoring shots, yeah, but I mean in general play, it's just that lack of targets forward of the centre.
And system, I think, great targets and system, isn't it?
Yeah.
9-15-4-4.
24 shots to 8, so yeah, there's a story there on its own.
Dennis Fijo tried to work his way through, couldn't. Ball in dispute, knocked off the footy. Districts kick it out wide.
This will be an interesting contest.
Coming home with a wet side, did it easy. Just let the ball bounce to his own advantage. Kicks inside to a leading player, but the leading player with Ethan Penrith. Penrith gets the ball out to Shot. Shot goes wider still to McMahon. McMahon will come inside. What's he got on offer? Not too much with the slippery football. Picked up by Smith. Smith, number 77. Ball on the ground. Chopped forward. Dropping the ball. Free kick. He took him on. Yeah, good free kick by the field umpire. And Burnett running for the football, but it won't be him. He gives the ball back to Patrick Doyle.
And you can see that moisture on your screen, eh? I can tell you it is rain.
Really? Is that rain?
Yes, it's
rain.
belting down here.
I'll show you rain. Goes around the corner, onto the left foot, kick on goal and misses to the near side. And that player was Jet Trotter. He is a Jet, but not today. McAdam brings the ball back.
I think the timekeeper's finger will be somewhere near the button there. 26, nearly 27 minutes gone in the last quarter.
There it is.
There it is, in fact. I picked that beautifully, didn't I?
Was that 9?
So Southern Districts have prevailed here at Norbuilt Oval. They've kicked 9-15-69 and PINT have kicked 5-4-34. And just quickly, Ian, as you scribble madly there, your best players for both sides.
Oh, I think the best players... let's say for the winners today, Charlie McAdam was good across half-back, Jack Sexton fantastic, Jake McQueen, Dean Staunton and Fraser Driscoll particularly early. And for the Pinters, they weren't Ethan Smith, good all day. Tom Gaydon down back, I thought that he did a terrific job on Dunstan. Mitchell Lowe also down back, and Braden Taylor, the blonde-headed boy, was very good. Jet Trotter, an honourable mention.
So that's the story of the game out here. Southern Districts have won by 35 points to confirm their position as top of the table, and unfortunately for PINT, they've missed out on the finals in 22-23. It's farewell from Norbuilt Oval.